Hold up. Why do they doubt the kid? I'm about to prove them all wrong again. I got a low tolerance, cause they don't even know what the problem is. It's me. You waiting on the boy to fail, then hold your breath and face your death. Cause you play a roulette with each step. I progress, no less. Go ahead and place your bets. Cause we know where we at, we know we top tier. Cause all the hate that you bring, we know it stops here. I'm taking off like a rocketeer and stopping here.
Music licensing reimagined.
We gon' always win. Promise that that's not a promise, yeah, that is a threat. You know that I promise to bring the team commas. When the whole team win, that's when you flex. Win, and I'ma do it again. Watch me win, then watch me do it again. Tell 'em I can't take no loss. My team hold no L's, no. Aiming for the top, can't make it by myself. I ain't taking no loss. I ain't taking no loss. Look, come on, always win. I ain't taking no loss. Look, come on, always win. We already know that we the coldest. Watch me heat it up, let me focus. I'm going toe to toe with foes. I know they notice. I kick in doors, they only hope for closing. Why? Cause they know I go again. And when they get it right, I'm the one that can make it flow again. Talk to me nice, my team they ready to go again.
Music licensing reimagined.
We don't talk, better know the grind gon' match my walk. I'm a cheat code, I don't take no loss. Making no sense, run up the scope. Cause all I do is win, and I'ma do it again. Watch me win, then watch me do it again. Tell 'em I can't take no loss. My team hold no L's, no. Aiming for the top, can't make it by myself. I ain't taking no loss. I ain't taking no loss. Look, come on, always win. I ain't taking no loss. Look, come on, always win. I'm winning again and again and again, and it's all on repeat. I'ma just sit at the top 'cause I'm running it, dog. On me, I don't know defeat. Had to get back on the phone. I told them don't play with my name 'cause I know that it rings. They want my spot at the top with the crown.
Music licensing reimagined.
Good evening. On this Sunday night from the Channel 9 studio, this is Sports Chat with Mr. 33. I am he, Mr. 33, and we had a lot of action, a lot of movement in week 6 of the NFL season. So we just going to start tonight with the game of the week. The game of the week was advertised as the 4-1 49ers going to Tampa Bay to play the 4-1 Bucks. And for the most part, in the first half, it was a good game. Back and forth play. Then all of a sudden, the injury to Fred Warner happens, and ever since that injury, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers took off with that, with the 20-16 lead at half. They end up going 30-19, defeating the 49ers and going up to 5-1 and with that victory. We go to the stats. We see Baker Mayfield was 17-23 for 256 yards, 2 touchdowns. Some people might say this is MVP performance. His wideout Ibuka went out for the game. It didn't matter. He used Tez Johnson to go deep for a long touchdown pass. We had Cade Otton leading the team with 5 receptions. The running game was okay. Rashad White taking over for Bucky Irvin was 65 yards rushing, a little bit over 4 yards to carry. But the turnovers plagued the 49ers as Mac Jones was 27 of 39, 347 yards. Those 2 interceptions turned into 10 extra points for the Tampa Bay Bucks, and that's how they ended up with the win. McCaffrey had 54 yards, not too much running. Kendrick Bourne had 100+ yards on 5 receptions, but Christian McCaffrey led everybody on the team with 7 receptions. But the story of the game was the turnovers and Baker Mayfield doing some things like running for 16 yards on a 3rd and 14, breaking tackles, doing things. His determination to win or to get that first down, it seemed to rejuvenate the Bucs and get them on to continue their winning ways. So with this win, the Bucs maintain the NFC South with 5-1. The 49ers end up going 4-2. And because they went 4-2, that left the door open for the Rams. Los Angeles Rams played the Baltimore Ravens, and they won that game 17-3. They did enough to win. They kept Cooper Rush, who was playing for the injured Lamar Jackson at bay. They eliminated Derrick Henry, and they kept the win. Puka Nacua got injured, came back, played a little bit more in the game, but he wasn't really needed. The defense kept the Ravens out the end zone, and so now they're 4-2, and they're joined now in the NFC West by the Seahawks. The Seahawks with a 20-12 win over the Jaguars. They put themselves in a 4-2 situation, which gives the NFC West 3 teams at 4-2. A 3-way tie in the NFC West. Also, in the AFC West, we got the Chargers with a 29-27. They squeaked out a win in Miami to go 4-2. Justin Herbert had a decent day, not really something to write home about, as he went 29 of 38 for 264 yards, 2 touchdowns. Kamani Vidal had over 100 yards rushing. Ladd McConkey with a huge play at the end of the game with a breaking tackles and getting the team into field goal range to get them the lead with a few seconds left, to kick the field goal rather, in position for the field goal. But he had 100 yards receiving. He had 7 receptions, as well as Rondé Gadsden. That was the team lead with in receptions. For the Dolphins, Tua had 21 of 32, 205 yards. He had 3 interceptions. Though interception came back to haunt him. Even though they had a good running attack by Devon Achane, those 3 turnovers hurt mightily. Jaden Wallow had 95 yards receiving, but he had a huge drop that turned into one of those 3 interceptions and allowed the Chargers to gain some points off of it. And then they end up going 4-2 with this win. Now, in London, there was a dismal game between the Broncos and the Jets. Why that game is important? Because the Denver Broncos won that game 13-11. In that game, we saw the Jets had minus 10 yards passing. That was the lowest of the lowest I've ever seen. But Bo Nix did enough. The defense had 9 sacks. What's his name? Justin Fields had 45 yards passing, but because he was sacked 9 times, it reduced his 45 yards to minus 10. That's why the Jets had minus 10 passing. But with that win in London, no matter how ugly or gruesome it was, it allowed the Broncos to be 4-2 and join the tie in the AFC West. We know that we just finished watching the game in Kansas City. It probably is brutal to my 33 brother, but we have to talk about it because the Lions lost 30-17. Patrick Mahomes had a decent. He didn't have nothing really to write home about, but 22 of 30, 257 yards, 3 touchdowns, no turnovers. Pacheco had 51 rushing yards to lead the team. Travis Kelce had 6 receptions for 78 yards. That led the receivers. But as the Lions, we had Jared Goff, 23 of 29, 203 yards, 2 touchdowns. Jahmyr Gibbs led the rushing with 65 yards. And Jamison Williams had 66 receiving yards. But Amon-Ra St. Brown had 9 receptions. It's just the simple fact today the Lions didn't have their gusto, they didn't have their firepower, they didn't have that energy that they was displaying in their 4-game winning streak before coming to Kansas City. So it's a big win for the Chiefs now because they're 3-3, and now that they're 3-3, they're a game behind the Chargers and Broncos. And the Chargers have a game up on the Chiefs because they beat them earlier in the season. So with this loss, we have to also go to the standings. As we go to the standings, and we'll see some more scores. We see that the Packers won their game 27-18 versus the Bengals. And because of that, and I told y'all that tie will come in handy for them. And I'm going to show you how it came in handy. With the Packers being 3-1-1, they are in first place because of percentage points. They're half a game above the Lions, who was 4-2. Minnesota had a bye, and Chicago had a bye. No, Chicago plays tomorrow. They play the Commanders. So with that tie, that happens. Going back to the scoreboard, we had the Raiders with a 20-10 victory over the Titans, getting their second win of the season. We had the Pittsburgh Steelers, who won 23-9 to be 4-1 in their division, to take a two-game lead. Yeah, 2-game lead. No, 2-game lead because Cincinnati's 2-3 now, 2-4. The Cowboys. This might have been the upset of the day. They was upset by the Carolina Panthers on a last-second field goal to win the game for the Panthers, 30-27. Even though Dak Prescott had a good game, it just Bryce Young had a great last drive to give this team a victory and, give them their second win. In New Orleans, we had a 25-19 win for the Patriots, who's now 4-2, and they are a half game behind the Buffalo Bills, who play tomorrow night against the Atlanta Falcons. In Indy, the Colts is 31. The Arizona Cardinals 27. So with the Jacksonville Jaguar loss, the Colts are now 5-1 and a half game above. They're above the Jacksonville Jaguars. So as we scan or go through the stats or the standings, you see how Buffalo's 4-1. They wait tomorrow to play the Falcons. You see Pittsburgh with a 2.5 game lead over the Bengals, as Baltimore and Cleveland struggle. We see the Colts 5-1. Jacksonville, with their loss today, become 4-2 and a half game back. And like I just said, in the West, you got the Chargers and Broncos up 4-2, but the Chargers have a 3-game division lead, as nobody else in the division has won because they beat everybody in their division. So the Chargers is in first place. In the NFC, we see the Eagles lost on Thursday. They're 4-2. The Commanders play tomorrow. They play the Bears. If they win, they will be 4-2 as well. The Cowboys with that loss today, and you see the tie coming in play with the Cowboys because they would otherwise be 2-4 or 3-3, and they will probably be either a game up or tied with the Giants, but the tie gives them the percentage points. Same thing with Green Bay. Once again, they're 3-1, and the Lions are 4-2, and the Vikings have a bye, so they stay the same. In the South, you see Tampa Bay is 5-1. Carolina, surprisingly, is actually 3-3. They're playing 500 football. It's been a while since you could say Carolina is playing 500 football in the NFC South, but they're playing pretty good right now. They got a 2-game winning streak going. And, of course, in the NFC West, you got the Niners, the Seahawks, and the Rams, all 4-2 in a 3-way tie. So, as you can see, this thing is going. I know you're still a loser. That's why I didn't even want to talk about it real quick, but I had to because now I'm talking about the standings and things like that. Shout out to my 33 brother who had a little rough right now because his beloved Lions didn't come through. But it was just something missing with those guys, so it's nothing really to, be upset about, to be quite honest. But that was the recap of the week. We ran through the stats, we ran through all of these things. Oh my God, ain't nobody getting no alerts, but I don't even know how to explain that. Yeah, so now that we ran through all of those stats and standings, we're just awaiting the end of tomorrow to go to see what the total standing is. Will Buffalo be still in first, or will they have a 1-game lead over New England, or will they be tied? And will the Commanders, if they get the victory, will they be tied with the Eagles, or if they lose, will they be still a game back? It's all, yeah, I agree with that. And they lost a safety today. Well, not losing, but he was injured earlier in the game. So it's like they was down a nut, So the injury bug is starting to play roles in these games. Like today, we know Fred Williams. We know Fred Warner is he's out for the rest of the season for the 49ers. He was carted off the field with a broken ankle or a broken tibia, one or the other, but he's out for the rest of the season. That's going to seriously hurt the 49er defense. And as you can see, once he got out of there, the Tampa Bay Bucks started capitalizing on the turnovers, started moving the ball even more efficiently. Without Fred Warner, they even got a couple of deep touchdown passes because the defense was not in the proper position. They was out of sort. They was out of sync. It's a lot when you lose your defensive quarterback. Most people's defensive quarterback is the linebacker. And it's no different with Fred Warner because Fred Warner, he was one of the OGs on the team. And now that you lose that defensive quarterback, is going to be very interesting to see how the rest of this season goes as far as their defense. And they're, like I just said, they're in a 3-way tie. So it's going to be very interesting to see what happens and how does that go as far as the 49ers defense. Now, Matt Jones didn't have a bad game, but it was like, it wasn't enough. He turned the ball over a couple times. And like I said, that gave them 10 extra points. And when you don't have that defense to hold you down and you're giving short fields and things like that, it's going to be hard for your defense to get rejuvenated if they just get a 3-and-out, come back on the field. But the 49er game was really truly about Baker Mayfield. Like I said, I was one of those people that doubted Baker Mayfield for a very long time. But you can't take away from what he's doing this year. He's leading his team into some very improbable victories, last-second victories. Today was the first time he even got a victory formation. That's how well he did and the defense taking the ball away from the 49ers got him in those positions. So, but you have to say, because of the way he's playing, you have to give him some consideration, some love, that he is actually playing some very good football. Dare I say, MVP-ish football. I know that may be hard for a lot of people to grasp and hold, but to be honest, he's one of the few hints. Allen on the Bills, those are one of the few teams that is 5-1 or one loss victory or one loss in their column. Green Bay got one loss, but they got a tie. The Colts got one loss. The Steelers, got a loss, and Buffalo got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's 5 teams with one loss, one loss in their column. So, now we're going to start focusing on them, because now they're trying to position themselves to be not only division leaders, but they're trying to position themselves, even though it might be a little bit early to talk about playoff positioning, but it's the losses that get you that number 1 seed in the actual bye. So now we're going to start focusing on that. We're going to focus on, the other teams that's behind them, like in the AFC East. You got New England behind them, and in the AFC South, you got the Jaguars, who's 4-2, behind the 5-1 Indianapolis Colts. Then, like I just said, in the AFC West, you got Denver and the Chiefs. That was a big win for them tonight. And in the NFC East, you got the Cowboys. Not the Cowboys. You got the Eagles at 4-2. Now we got to wait for, like I said earlier, tomorrow to see if the Commanders tie it up. Their game behind. We see the NFC North with the Packers and the Packers, the Lions fighting for the number 1 spot in the division, and the Vikings are not far behind them. And in the NFC West, you got the Rams, the Niners, and the Seahawks all at 4-2. So that was a very quick rundown of what's happened over this Sunday, and we're waiting for tomorrow. I don't know if everybody got to witness what happened yesterday, as far as Crown Jewel, but the entertaining match of the night was the John Cena versus AJ Styles. For those that don't know, it's been said, I don't know if it's been confirmed yet, that AJ Styles is getting ready to retire in 2026. And they showed him some love with his special announcement, as well as they gave John Cena last night, and they really put on the show. They was representing WWE versus TNA. AJ Styles was doing sweet chin music. John Cena was doing choke slams and tombstones and resembling some of his opponents in the WWE over the past 20 years. So it was a very entertaining match, to say the least. And John Cena did get the victory after he tombstone. He hit his finishing move on AJ Styles. And then at the end of the match, they got to show each other some love, which is a rare thing in the world of sports and entertainment, especially in the WWE, because it wasn't a heel versus babyface, a good guy versus a bad guy. It was just two guys that battled over the past, let's be nice to say 10 years. And they showed respect to one another. We saw over Cody Rhodes to win that crown jewel belt. Even though Seth went above and beyond, snuffing people with Rolexes and all of that other stuff, it was an important win because I feel if he didn't win, the Division wouldn't be coming to Raw tomorrow in the same format as if he won. So now we have to keep an eye on it because we see that Paul Heyman told him after the Roman Reigns match, we ain't going out there to help him one way or another. He got to figure that out. So it seems like there's some division in the midst. So we have to pay attention to that, right? And Bronson Reed got his win over Roman Reigns. But even with that, we see Roman was telling the twins, the Uso brothers, yo, I need y'all to let me handle this. I got this. This ain't like the old days. Meaning this ain't like when we was out here running the show like that. I need to do this on my own. Like Roman, it seems like Roman's trying to find himself as an individual, where Jay is trying to capture himself as an individual. But you see Jay is like, yo, he gonna be himself. I'm out. They're gonna run the I don't know. I think they're gonna run the bloodline back with Jay being the leader of the group. What up, though?
What up, though? Hey, you think they gonna run the bloodline back?
I think they're gonna run it with Jay.
Roman told him, I don't want to see y'all until Christmas, bro.
Yeah. I'm like, damn. That means don't even come. You see me in the match, don't come through. Don't even. I'm like, damn, that was harsh. You know what I'm saying? Like, wow. Well, that must mean Roman gonna be around for War Games. That's how I see that. That's how I see it. But I'm like, we have to sit back and now watch this thing because as I'm watching it, I'm looking at Paul Heyman telling the division the Brawns like, yo, y'all stay back. Let Seth figure this out on his own. What if he loses? We already know what's gonna happen if he loses. Like they already got the plan B in motion, it looks like to me. So now it's gonna be very interesting to see what happens with Seth Rollins and the Division.
I'm kind of thinking you do the Y6 versus the MFT for War Games.
Yeah, that's gonna be one match. I see that already. You saw Tom and Loa come back on Friday with the paint. I'm like, why is he the only one in paint and with a painted face? And then I see all of them come out with painted faces. Like, okay, this is a straight shot at the Y6. I'm just interested to see which tag team is going to try to win the belt. That's how you normally get to play in the WWE. You got to have the belts.
It's going to be JC and Tom Loa. Them are the two best wrestlers besides Solo. It's JC, Mateo, and Tom Loa.
Because we know Solo going to try to get the U.S. belt back. And now that Jacob is not even looking at a belt right. Well, he told Cody, I'm ready to see you, but he got a Drew McIntyre problem that he got to deal with in a few. So that's going to be after he take care of that. If Cody still got the belt, we'll see what happens. But he got to take care of Drew McIntyre because he's still mad. So that's going to be interesting because there's no Usos over there no more, right? Because you got Jimmy over there Raw. You got Jacob just over there by himself. Who's going to help him? Sammy? He going, you know what I mean? Like how that works. So it's going to be interesting to see how they build Jacob into the powerhouse to start winning some individual belts again after he lost it to Solo.
I think that's why they got rid of everybody over there. That's why they put Jimmy on Raw, and so Jacob can shine alone. As long as one of them around them, they're gonna be looking, for them to be with Jacob. But I think they want him to have a real solo run. That's why, he fighting Drew McIntyre, and then he probably go fight. Well, Aleister Black and Damian Priest gonna go at it for a minute.
Yeah, they're going at it.
But it's gonna be Drew McIntyre, then it's gonna be Cody. I mean, but it's gonna be a solo run for him. Now he by himself. You know, he can show what he can do by himself. I don't even think he gonna fuck with the blood. I mean, MFT. Like they ain't even gonna bump heads.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I think there's gonna be a Randy Orton scenario in there because he's trying to get the belt from Randy. Gonna try to get the belt from Cody too, so that might be like a number one contenders match, Jacob versus Randy Orton, to see who could face Cody in one of these. I don't know, maybe a Saturday night main event. I don't know, but I think that match will be after the Drew McIntyre match for Jacob.
They gotta let Randy get number 16. He was complaining about that, bro. Like he was literally complaining about that. Like they caught him, you know, it was like off script.
I bet he was.
He was,
Like y'all
he was like, damn. He was like, damn, I can't get number 16. Like I can't get it. Like, damn, bro.
they might as well give it to him because it ain't 17. You know what I mean? But then you would have to
I mean,
really
people are still-
establish who had the better career.
I think I mean John Cena is gonna be the most popular.
You
But,
really,
I mean, he's just popular with the fans. I think Randy Orton was the better wrestler. I think Randy Orton was the better entertainer. Well, no, I'm not gonna say better entertainer, but I think he was just the overall better than John Cena. Overall,
and
but
that's
John
what.
Cena was definitely a better entertainer. He just, you know,
But that's what it. But that's what the argument is gonna come in. Look, he had Evolution. He had Batista on his team. He had Triple H on his team. John Cena was just Dolo. You know what I mean? Like that's where the
but
arguments and debates is gonna come in.
see, Randy Orton is a more versatile wrestler too because he played the babyface. He played the heel. We seen what happened when John Cena played the heel. It wasn't right, bro. You know, John Cena just went into different characters, but he was always the good guy. You know, he was always the good guy. Randy Orton could play the bad guy or the good guy. Or he can be both at the same time.
Yeah,
That's how versatile.
absolutely.
You know, he can be the baby face in a split second and then be the bad guy in the next second. I mean, so I think he's more versatile overall, better because of his versatility. Not only with his
Yeah,
wrestling, but even his wrestling, man. He just looked cleaner.
yeah. I mean, John Cena once he started becoming uh the doctor, what was his name? The Doctor Thugonomics. He started losing his agility. He wasn't the drop kick kid or the kid coming off the top rope with the bulldog or anything like that. His wrestling is more
Man,
more like a Hulk Hogan type scenario. You
man,
know, it
John
wasn't
Cena was
technical.
going. John Cena was going crazy yesterday, bro. He did the Sister
Yeah, he was.
Abigail. He did the motherfucking RKO. He did the motherfucking Tombstone. He was going crazy, bro. I'm like, God damn, AJ, you catching everything, bro.
AJ catching everything. AJ doing sweet chin music, trying to catch
Yeah.
up with it. That's why I said that was the most entertaining match out of all of them, and that's why I had to speak about it tonight because you know it's very rare that you'll get a match like that. We saw what happened the last time they brought one of John Cena's rivals back. It was like a
Right,
10-second match with Brock Lesnar.
Yeah,
Just let that man get
crazy.
slaughtered like that. And he took that on the chin, and you know that's another a versatile situation for John Cena, right? Because he when he loses not gracefully, but he loses with no complaint, right? Like when he lost to Cody Rhodes, it was over. When he lose to Brock Lesnar, it's over. When people came and jumped him, like back in the days with when they had the Nexus group, they came and tried to take him out, do all the stuff. It was over. John Cena versus The Rock. No complaints. You don't have those bickering situations. And so that's what makes him, you know, a unique individual. He may not be as versatile as Randy Orton, but when he loses, it's like, you know, I ain't got to come back and beef and bicker and this one did this and this one did that. It's a difference. He's not like Seth Rollins or CM Punk. It's always an excuse of why they lose. I lost. I got my ass whooped, and he keep it moving. So that's the difference between, to me, Randy Orton and John Cena.
Bro, Gary, you my dog, bro, but you can't celebrate
Mm-hmm.
somebody knowing how to take an ass whooping, bro. You can't celebrate people like you know how to take an ass whooping. When we competing, bro, I like to see poor sports. I mean, they care about winning. He get his ass whooped, well, okay, no problem. Have a good day. Like, nah,
What
bro, I
you
don't want
mean?
to see fire. I want you to be pissed off when you lose, bro.
You gotta
When
listen,
you
man.
man, you celebrating that
Ain't
man
nobody
for
in
being able to
WWE
take an ass
going.
whooping. Uh,
Yeah, yeah. The adversity comes with the losses. The adversity comes with the
you
losses, and with those
show me
losses,
that you
you
show me
gotta
that you
learn from it.
bro. First of all, this is scripted shit. It's scripted, bro. This
I
shit takes
understand
place.
that.
But as far as like, I ain't celebrate nobody taking a scripted ass whooping. Like that's not.
So what you want them to do? Complain about it?
He's supposed no be mad. You ain't gotta complain, but be pissed off. Show that like, damn, I
But
lost. Like,
how you gonna be mad? How are you mad at a scripted loss?
because you're acting. Like when people lose, they be mad, bro. Like that's what I'm saying. It's like he losing and just to the next one. Like, come on, bro. You got to show some acting. Act like you care. Like act like you care. Like, damn.
I don't care.
You know,
I
just
don't
show
care. I'm
like you
great.
pissed off and
I'm
shit.
gonna
That's
overcome.
the.
I'm gonna overcome that.
Mm. You can overcome it by doing better next time. That's
I'm
overcoming.
gonna
But
overcome it.
showing that you pissed off, yeah, man.
Yeah. I ain't mad
That's
about it.
your. That's how you relate to people. That's
Nope.
people can
I'm
relate to that shit. Like, damn. You know, like when they be complaining when football players go over but slam their helmets down. I like to see that. They like, fuck.
Oh
Yeah,
no, that's
yeah.
different. If you don't, you got to slam your helmet down with that because especially if you the reason why they lost, you got to show that situation. Now, if you just get your ass whipped, that's something different, right? If you get outplayed, you're gonna sulk. I understand that
That
part. You know what I
that's
mean?
like
Like
when
that.
Amon Ross St. Brown missed that catch. You seen him on the sideline. He was pissed off until he caught another ball. He was pissed off.
Absolutely.
Like, God damn it. And that them couple plays lost them. They had to play a perfect game today
Yeah.
because they left guard. He got nicked up early. Dan Skipper did an awesome job. Happy he bet. But they left guard was
Mm-hmm.
getting blew up, bro. And then a couple plays at right guard get blew up. So they line ain't healthy. They on their third left tackle. And then the defensive back, Rocky Singh, I don't know, bro. He got his ass rocked, bro. He got ran over, bro. Kareem Hunt blew him up. Kareem Hunt and Juju, man, Juju was just
But that's
killing
what
him,
I'm
bro.
saying. Now you see how they. Yeah, Juju looked like he was on Pittsburgh again. Hollywood Brown
Juju.
looked like he was on Baltimore with all the catches and
And,
running
and,
after catches and all of these
and
things. But you can have it like we was talking on Friday. Like we need, I don't know what Jordan Wade for. He might as well go ahead, man, take his chance, get on the field because they need something
oh
back
shit,
there.
he got,
They
you
need
know,
something back there.
he had neck surgery. So yeah, he had neck surgery, so he ain't gonna be able
Okay.
to come back until like after week 7 or 8. Yeah. Whatever team signed him,
Okay.
they'll have to wait till like week 7 or 8. And so,
Like I said, the fact that they lost another the safety came back after that little injury
Herbie
tonight.
Yossi.
But yeah, but you see
Both of them
how
was
like
next. He was already fucked up
right,
before the game. I didn't. They didn't know if him and Deion Branch was going to even play.
right. So, but we know because they didn't play that perfect offensive game, it gave the Chiefs the momentum that they need because they didn't play perfect offensively. So now they could get a 3 and out a few times, and that decimated backfield. You know what I mean? They could do the little dinks and dunks and get the little 5-yard pass and that turns into like 7-8 yards because they're not tackling well and things like that. So the
Yeah,
fact
they
that
need to get.
yeah.
My bad. My bad. No, my bad, bro. I thought you breaking in the conversation, but they
Realist,
got to
what's
get
going
better.
on with you?
What up, though, really? They gotta get Tesla in the game, bro. They gotta get him going. They gotta get. I like Sam Laporta. They need to get him to more touches. I like Jameson because at first they were just using him for deep balls, but having him come in and do slants and screens, they need that more. You know what I'm saying? They
Mm-hmm.
need to. They need to. I was waiting for a pitch to the outside, bro, because they kept feeding Gibbs in between. Hey. And I'm like, all right. As soon as they pitch it to the outside, he gone. Never pitched it. I'm like, come on, bro. Like that end keep diving in, bro. He ain't bending out. He diving in, bro. That's perfect time. You got this man diving because you hitting that A gap, man. Pitch that bitch, bro.
Yeah. But because I mean it wasn't like the running game was ineffective. It's just the fact that they got down by so much that they had not abandoned it, but you're not gonna how much could you play action pass if you know they know you gotta pass the ball. You see what I'm saying?
I
The
don't
the, the
even think they.
balance is off when you have to consistently keep up with the offensive flow of the other team. They
See,
scoring, you
when they
not
scored that third
scoring.
touchdown,
Then if you score, you only getting that field goal or whatever it is. So it's like, nah, we got to keep up with them. The defense, like Aiden Hutchinson was putting on pressure, but he once Mahomes break containment, he's getting 6-7 yards down the field. So now it's 2nd and 3, 3rd and 2, or whatever the situation is. That gets the defensive lineman tired. They chasing the quarterback, and he's not even Lamar Jackson. So it's difficult when your defense is tired, and then you ain't keeping up on the offensive side, and you keep sending them out there, and your defensive backfield is hurting at the same time. So it was a rough loss for the Lions, but you know they'll get it together. They'll figure his way out because every team is not going to be Kansas City. Every quarterback ain't going to be Patrick Mahomes. So you could afford not to say you could afford the loss, but you could understand why they lost. In my opinion.
man, their third touchdown they scored, bro. I thought they was go. Uh, they could have just gone up and down the field if they seen what they was doing, bro. They wouldn't even play action. They had golf in the shotgun. They kept running a three linebacker set, bro. Keep killing that zone until they go to man, and then have Jameson blow them out. That's all they had to do, and that's what they was doing. But then when they got the ball back, they start running it again. Like it's cool to run it, bro. But golf is surgical right now, bro. He hot. Let him rock. Like when golf is going, let him go. When he not, then he not. But that and when if they had three linebackers out there, man, they could have ate them alive all day, bro. They couldn't keep up with St. Brown. They ain't keeping up with JMO. You got motherfucking Gibbs coming out the backfield. You got a linebacker on. Like, eat them alive, bro.
I don't know what
That was
made them
lunch.
abandon the game plan, but they did. Yeah, they abandoned the game plan. So I don't know what happened. You know what I mean? But it's rough when you got to sit there and you know what the game plan is, but you're not following the game plan. Was the tackles that bad that you felt like golf wasn't going to have enough time? Like I don't know what they was thinking. Like the tackle in the guard they was doing pretty well until like
Man,
it
it
was
was
all
the two
passing.
guards.
Then it's like
It
it
was
falls.
it was the two guards, bro. I mean, it was just. I mean, you fucking with Chris Jones, though. So I mean, what you expect on the rookies? So he was eating. He had that's barbecue chicken and Shaq was said, and that's what it was, barbecue chicken. And one of them was hurt.
Well, right. So because of that, you don't like I said, you have to slow down. You have to it takes away from that when you have your second or third guard in the lineup. It's not going to be as precise as it was if everybody was where they're supposed to be. So I think that hurt them a lot as well.
We missed
But
Terry
like
Hunt.
I said,
My bad.
and when you have somebody like Patrick on home, you can't give them extra possessions, right? It wasn't even about a turn turnover. It's just like, all right, we had a couple 3-and-outs. Now they just now I got to make up for those 7 minutes that I lost. This, that, and the third. So, it's different when you have that type of opponent with that type of quarterbacking behind you. So it's kind of hard. Like you said, Jared Goff had to be perfect, and he didn't have like an interception per se, but it wasn't a perfect game. So, when it comes down to that, it's a rough loss. But like I said, they still in it. The Packers is there. Like I said, they only got a percentage point because of that tie. I try to tell people that's why I hate the tie. The tie just give a person a better percentage than having an actual win or a loss. So that's why they're in first place as of right now, because they have the tie and they got a better percentage than the Detroit Lions. That sucks, but that's just the way they have it as a tiebreaker. I don't really like it per se, but that's what they're doing with it. Hey, Realist, you down there? How did you like? Did you get in? Did you get a chance to see Crown Jewel? I missed Bound for Glory today. I was supposed to watch Bound for Glory to see the Hardy Boys fight the Dudley Boys. I missed that. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I was so into these games today that I forgot Bound for Glory was on. But I saw a clip of it. I didn't see who won that match. I even saw Spike Dudley out there. I was like, damn, I had a flashback about to 2000. See Spike Dudley and the Dudley Boys come out there. Get the table. You know what I mean? Oh, so you missed it. So I'm gonna run it back for you real quick, Realist. John Cena and AJ Styles, they was throwing tributes to everybody. John Cena was over there doing Sister Abigail's. He was spearing people. He not was it a spear? No, it wasn't a spear. He RKO'd AJ Styles. AJ Styles was doing sweet chin music. AJ Styles tried to do the "You Can't See Me." John Cena popped up like he the Undertaker, choke slammed. that match was that was the most entertaining match by far of the whole entire show. I mean, that was hands down the most entertaining match of the entire show. And then, after he tombstoned AJ, he hit AJ with his move, got the pin, got the victory. They hugged it out. But even before that, I think AJ was telling everybody he's going to retire in 2026. So he got a special ring announcement like he was in TNA, because, if people was following him in TNA, he was the leader of the Bullet Club and all this other stuff. That's where Gallows and Anderson come from, and Michin. That's how they all rocked over there. They brought it over to WWE. That's how they was all close. But they was really showing him love. Like this might be his last hurrah as well. But going into 26, John Cena got 4 matches to go, so it's going to be interesting to see how he rocks with that. I'm pretty sure he's gonna have a match in the Survivor Series. I think if they're gonna do this with AJ needs to go over to TNA, win the heavyweight championship. I don't know if Trick is gonna be over there. I don't know who's gonna be over there, but they might as well let him go over there and win the belt and hang out for a little while, run from both shows. And that could be a way for them to link TNA to the WWE, the main show, not just NXT. That's just a thought. Yeah, that's what I was saying the same thing. I caught a glimpse of the Hardy Boys and the Dudleys, but I was so busy. Like I said, I was so busy watching these games today. Like I was all over the place. I couldn't even stay focused. I'm like, damn, I missed the Dudley Boys. I wanted to see somebody go through the table. I want to see Matt Hardy do the moonsault off the top rope. I wanted to see that would have been like a super flashback to the millennium, 2003, 4, 5. But you know, I got to do better too, because I keep forgetting TNA is a part of the WWE and it runs the 3 different shows, right? Because like I said, Trick Williams is over there, Kalani Jordan is over there. She represents NXT and TNA, and they probably get ready to move her around a little bit more. So I got to do better, because if they all get ready to come to the WWE, I got to make sure I understand, and then I will help the audience understand, because I know everybody don't follow NXT and TNA like that. So I got to do better myself. I'll take the hit with that one as well. So, you know, but all in all, Seth Rollins did win that match though. Realist, he beat Cody Rhodes. He took him out with a Rolex watch that Cody gave him for beating Roman Reigns. He took him out with that. Stephanie Barker, she defeated Tiffany Stratton. I don't know. I might be tripping. I don't know what Word thinks, but I swear I think Tiffany Stratton is losing her mind. I think she's regressing. She's not even progressing. All right, got you. I don't even, you know what I mean? I don't know. Because even in the triple threat match with Jade and Nia Jax, she was like doing the worst. She wasn't consistent about it or anything. So I was like, damn, what's the point of you being there if you're not going to do nothing to be yourself? You know what I'm saying? I'm like somebody out with the rolling. Who does that? But you know, I guess because they had 100. What was in the belt? 107 jewels or rubies or whatever it was. I guess you could do that. I guess you could do that and hold that belt down. I mean, they don't keep the belt all year, but you know, I'm just saying. So when that situation occurred, I was like, damn, that's crazy. What else happened in that daggone that we had that match? Roman lost. He lost to what the hell is that dude? Bronson Reed. Jey Uso hit him with a spear. He hit Roman with the spear, put him through the table, and then he got tsunami'd on. And then at the end, Roman's like, yo, let me tell y'all something, man. This ain't like the old days. This ain't like when we the bloodline. I need to take care of this on my own. He told them, I don't want to see you till Christmas. I'm like, damn, Christmas. I mean, come to the crib and drop hey, we gonna celebrate with the kids and drop some presents, all type of shit you talking about. I guess Roman trying to reestablish himself as an individual wrestler and not just Roman, the tribal chief, I guess. I'm not sure. But, you know, we're going to find all of this out starting tomorrow, because Jay's like, you know what? Since he going to be him, I'm going to be me. I'm stepping off. I'm leaving your ass in the ring. He left Jimmy in the ring. And the tag match with the girls, it was exactly what I said it would be. Rhea was going to take care, do all the work, and she tagged Io when Io did the moonsault on Kairi Singh, got the 3 count, and you know they rocking like they the bestest of friends. So now that we heading into tomorrow, we got some things to look at. We got to see what's the result of Seth Rollins winning. I'm really seeing that there's going to be a betrayal there. I think Paul Heyman going to dip on him and just deal with the Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker situation. I think he's just going to deal with those two because he can share. But now that Crown Jewel's over, I need to see what they're going to do with Seth Rollins anyway, because now you can't focus on Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes ain't coming over there unless they're doing the Survivor Series situation right now. So, we got to stay tuned tomorrow to watch how that operates. That'll be back on. Raw will be back on its regular time at 8 o'clock on Netflix tomorrow. It won't be 7 o'clock. So we got to pay attention to that. And then we also got to see what's going to happen with Dirty Dom. Is Dirty Dom going to start having his matches again with Rusev, or they're going to avoid him, or what they're going to do with that. The tag belts, they still ain't situated with that. So now we're gonna start probably seeing on Raw with individuals now. You know what I mean? I'm waiting to see what happens with Gunther, to be honest, because Gunther's been missing for so long. He ain't fought since he lost the belt. Is he still on a contract? Yeah, Dom still got. He ain't fighting. He fought Rusev and dipped off. That's what I'm saying. He still got that belt. He still got the little AAA belt too. I'm just interested to see what happens with that. And then, Judgment Day, they still trying to rock the Judgment Day, but I don't see how, because Liv got to come back and separate that sooner or later. So all of these things, I'm looking forward to see what's going to happen. I'm predicting that Liv's going to come back before Survivor Series, War Games, whatever they call it this time, and see what happens. See if she's going to take her place back, leave the group, start the group. But I see Dom is getting ready to dip off because he got the Grande Americano people running with him, and they doing things to help him win his matches and stuff like that. So, I'm just going to be paying attention to that to see what's going on in that realm, and going forward just to see what happens. Now that Stephanie Vaquer, she won the belt. Who's gonna be her number one challenger? Is Becky gonna try to go after her? Is Bayley gonna try to go after her? I'm looking to see if Stephanie and it might be Lyra Valkyria. It could be her. That's what I'm saying. Now it's time for them to start putting these things on display. Who's the next challenger? Who's the number one contender for the women's belt? Who's the number one contender for the Intercontinental belt? Who's the number one contender for the U.S. belt? So on and so forth. You have to start building this up because we're about to get to the end of the year and no particular belt is really being fought for on Raw. So I'm really interested to see how that goes going forward. You know what I mean? So you stay tuned for that on Monday. And then, we got NXT Tuesday. We're going to see what's going on with all of those situations. They just finished their invasion matches last week. TNA got the best of them. So we're going to see what happens after that. So it's a lot going on in the world of the professional wrestling world. Like I said, I'm just excited to see what happens. I'm trying to predict it. But I'm a content creator. I'm not a wrestling creator. You know what I mean? I could only go by my thoughts of how to do it. I don't get to put pen and paper to say this is what's gonna happen. That's where we at with that as far as the WWE. So it's gonna be very interesting to see how that goes. But we are on the road to Survivor Series, I believe. I think Saturday Night Main Event. I think is in December. I'm not sure, but I know there's going to be another PLE coming up shortly. That much I know. I'm saying it's going to be War Games because about 6 weeks out from Thanksgiving. So that'll be the next pay-per-view, War Games / Survivor Series. This is going to be more of a team thing. So we'll see what's going to happen starting tomorrow on Raw. As far as the NFL, we got 2 Monday night games tomorrow. We got the Bills heading to Atlanta to play the Falcons. So that's going to be the 7:15 game. And then we got the Bears heading to Maryland to play the Washington Commanders. I can't stand when I say that. They're going to Maryland to play the Washington Commanders. But that's like me saying the Jets and Giants, they're playing in New York and they play in Jersey. So I don't like saying that either. They need to go back to their regular spots, one in the Bronx and one in Queens. Let's see if they do that. All this construction they got going. But that's just me being a New Yorker complaining about things I shouldn't be complaining about. But yeah, so we got those 2 games. What happened? Oh, baseball happened today. Game 1 of the American League Championship. Seattle won 3-1 to take a 1-0 lead in Toronto. Game 2, I believe it's tomorrow, and Game 1 of the National League Championship between the Los Angeles Dodgers and the Milwaukee Brewers will be in Milwaukee. That game is tomorrow as well. It's tomorrow for sure. I'll update you guys with the scheduling of the ALCS and the NLCS. But before I get out of here, I just want to say thank you all for coming through, listening to the conversation. We spoke about wrestling a lot tonight because we was giving the flowers to John Cena. We gave our flowers to AJ Styles for a tremendous match. If y'all didn't see the match, I suggest y'all hit YouTube and see the match in its totality, and you will understand why we are telling y'all like that was the match of the night. So as Word, I believe he's getting ready to go live over there. I believe he's setting it up. So y'all get ready to hear what Word talking about. But we will be back tomorrow on this very same Channel 9 studio. So with that being said, from the Channel 9 studio, this is Sports Chat with Mr. 33. I'm signing off. I'll see you guys in 23 hours.